move on and talk about a company that is also responsible for supplying to the auto sector, among supplying to many other sectors. They delivered their results as well. I'm talking about Jindal Stainless Hisar. We have with us Vijay Sharma, the director at Jindal Stainless Hisar. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now. So obviously, there's degrowth on the top line, on the margin front, there's compression. The bottom line has been boosted because of tax credits. So let's first focus on the operational bit. What's the drop in demand you witnessed in Q4 because of the COVID lockdown?
Good afternoon and thanks for having me here. You see, apart from the COVID, Q4 were very typical from the stainless steel perspective because of the extreme import intensity. In 1819, the stainless steel, the import intensity in India was about 18%. And on average basis in 1920, it has gone up to around 24%. And in fact, in Q4, it was as high as 30%. In fact, if I compare the total import number between 1819 and 1920, the import has increased by 40%. If we have a look at what is happening globally, worldwide, the cross-border flows have primarily because of the irresponsible investment by the countries like China and Indonesia. They have absolutely disturbed the total global flows of stainless steel and also most of the other products, wherein you will be surprised that today there are 26 trade remedial initiatives going on in the world related to stainless steel, and out of that, more than 70% have China in it, and more than 50% has got Indonesia in it. In fact, today in Indonesia, the capacity is more than 25% of the consumption there. And today, China is exporting more than 3 million tons of stainless steel, which is something similar to the annual demand of Indian stainless steel industry. So primarily it is because of the dumping by these countries, and also the subsidies being given by the government of these countries, which are non-WTO compliant, and also the circumvention which is happening. So there is a need of a level playing field. Maybe you may be thinking about the competitiveness. I would just like to highlight two elements: the logistics cost as well as the cost of capital. These two elements only make the Indian companies uncompetitive by 10 to 12%. So it is not a challenge of the competitiveness of the Indian manufacturers or the industry. I think it is a larger subject related with the government competitiveness and also related with most of the products which are being imported from these countries. I would also like to highlight here that in India, if you look at the capacities available, India has got, the stainless steel industry has got the capacity to totally take care of the requirement of stainless steel, but the capacity utilization is 60%. Yeah.
So Mr. Sharma, from what you are saying, it looks like more than demand fall, it's the fact that imports have been grabbing whatever demand is there in India, and that's the reason why Jindal Stainless Hisar has seen a degrowth in Q4. Is that what you're trying to say?
In Q4, the degrowth was one from because of COVID, another was because of the import, and also there was a subdued demand in some segments, continued subdued demand in segments like auto and utensils. So these are the primary reasons, but I would like to give import, which is absolutely destabilizing the Indian stainless steel market.
Okay, Mr. Sharma, now we had automakers, some of them, big one like Maruti Suzuki, saying that we've reached a point where supply chain is becoming a problem more than demand. Now production is becoming kind of difficult for them, and of course Jindal Stainless Hisar as well does supply to the auto sector. So I just want to understand what's the capacity you are. I'm sure during the lockdown you as well had trimmed down on capacity utilization quite significantly. Your factories must have been shut, but now you're slowly reopening. What's the ramp up looking like? What's the capacity utilization now?
We for stainless steel metal, we strongly feel that there are big opportunities post this ramp up, and even now also we had a capacity utilization of about 40%, and we feel that in June, July it should be somewhere around 60, and by September, hopefully, despite of the uncertainties, we are very confident that by September or so the thing should normalize. Coming specifically on auto, our stainless steel goes mostly into two-wheelers. Looking into the current situation and what we have learned from the auto majors, I think the two-wheelers are going to increase, and so would the stainless steel in this particular segment. And also there are other segments as well, specifically related to infra, where Government of India is focusing in a big way, and also the medical ecosystem and hospital industry. Those areas will also give good boost to stainless steel. I would like to highlight here the initiative of government on the sustainability solutions for the economy, stainless steel is perhaps the best fit material from the social, from the economic, and also from the environment perspective. Because on the life cycle costing, the concept, this is the ideal solution for long-term sustainable solution, which the government of India is looking forward to.
Right. There has been quite a drop seen in nickel prices, ferrochrome prices as well. Nickel was at $15,000. Now it's come down again to that $12,000 level. How has it impacted your raw material costs, your EBITDA margins?
Q4, there was definitely impact of this nickel price coming down also, because if you compare Q4 with the Q3 average of nickel, there was a drop of 17%. Definitely yes, but we have a agility by reorganizing our product mix. So that is the reason you would have seen that while the volume in Q4, volume in 1920 were down by 10%, but at the EBITDA level, it was 4% down. But if I see the percentage EBITDA, in fact, we have been able to increase it with 0.3 decimal points. That means we have been able to get aligned with the market situation and arrange our mix so that we are able to reasonably try to sustain the inventory loss because of this nickel fluctuation. But yes, nickel creates problems for everybody.
And what about stainless steel realizations, Mr. Sharma? How did that pan out?
Madam, I think that in case of stainless steel, the revenue is not that critical because it depends on the indices and the cost of the material in it. For us, the profitability and the stability, that is more important. So, generally speaking, depending on some lead and lag, the raw material indices get passed on to the market, but the challenge is the import, where the industry immediately needs a level playing field. I would also like to highlight a point. We are talking a lot about the space getting created because of the behavior of China, at least behavior of China in this situation. In India, we need to have, because most of the downstream, unless the stainless steel gets converted into the finished goods, which is being done by the MSME sector. So this hand-holding, level playing field, if that is not provided immediately by the government, there is going to be a challenge to avail this opportunity, which is available because of this COVID situation and because of the focus of the government in the sustainable solutions.
Okay, all right. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now and, sort of giving an insight of what went by for Jindal Stainless Hisar in Q4. Pankaj, with that, it's over to you.